Hello everyone, my name is Stacy and I am with Quantum Artistic. I'm going to do a video tonight on how to use the mini mold, the Quilled Creations Mini Mold. It's a tool that helps you make domes out of your tight coils and even some other types of quilled shapes. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it to keep this kind of a brief little video. So for those of you who are unsure what this is, the Quilled Creations Mini Mold, as you can see, mine is very well used. I have used and used and used it. It's a plastic object with a bunch of domes built into it, or extruded, I guess, of varying sizes. So these little teeny weeny ones down here, all the way to these really big ones right there. I use it very frequently. It's a way to add dimension to pretty much any tight coil. It's a great way to make the centers of flowers. It's a great way to make cups, to make things convex or concave. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to actually show you how to build the tight coils because I assume that you already know how to do that. So here's a tight coil that is made out of 3 strips of red 1/4 inch paper. Let's see if I can get this up here in the right area. Okay, there's that. So we have this 3-strip tight coil, and it's roughly, I'm going to say, a little over 1/2 inch in diameter. To use the mini mold, we're going to use it with the bubbles or the domes face up. So when the domes are popping up towards you, that's how you want to put your coils down. And you can tell this also because the mini mold is printed so in the direction that you can read. It's facing you, and all the letters are the correct orientation. When I first got this, I didn't realize that there was a right or a wrong way to use it. Not that the underneath is the wrong way, it's just you come up with different results. And you lose the sheen of your paper sometimes if you're mushing it around inside these domes. And this, using it in one direction only will help you keep your molded tight coils consistent. So if you want to make the highest possible dome on your tight coil, then you're going to want to find the dome that corresponds to the same diameter. So in this case, this one looks either like a D. D looks a little bit bigger. C looks like it's really nice. So it's going to be, close between the two. What you do is you just take your tight coil, you hold down your mini mold, and you press your tight coil over the top of it. In this case, it looks to me as though the C was a little bit too small because it left this lip right here. I'm going to bring this up for you to see. See the lip, the ridge that it left around the outside edge. So I'm going to switch this, I'm going to hop on over to the D and see if we can't fix that. And voila, just popping it over the top of the D was perfect. And now we have a consistent dome with no ridge around it. And look how nice and tall that is. Very, very, very tall ridge. I mean dome, I can't talk. It's late, it's like 11 o'clock at night. Once you've got your dome all created, you can kind of fidget with it, kind of press it and make sure everything's all nice and smooth, or as smooth as you're gonna get it. And then I like to go in with some glue, and I like to glue the interior to hold the shape, because if you don't glue this, what happens is if it gets pressed, you'll lose the dome. And you don't want that to happen after taking the time to make it. So I just like to kind of make an X in these, and then I set it off to the side, let it dry. The X just makes sure that at least 4 points within the dome get glued. Make sure that when you put if you put too much glue on it, make sure you're not having it on your background, because the glue could run down and then get onto your background. Okay, so there's that. Where's the other one? Here's a little itty bitty one that I made her. This is a single strip. You can make little nipple looking things by putting it on a smaller dome or a dome than it is. See, that looks kind of like a nipple there. Not like an anatomy nipple, just like, like a hardware nipple. If you put your tight coil on a dome that is larger in diameter than it, then it softens the dome and makes a less peaked dome. So in this case, the F is much larger, and the E is much larger, and you'll notice that this makes a very gradual dome shape if I do that. Whereas if I go to the B and do it, it makes a really, really steep dome. Let's let this focus. It's so slow. There you go. Look at that. Look how steep that is. So that's pretty much how the mini mold works. You can flip it over and do the same thing on the inside of these. I find that if there's any dust or dirt on the inside and you press your quill down into them, you just kind of grab it, and it kind of seems to me as though it dulls the paper. That's just me. Now, you don't always have to use it for tight coils. You actually can use the mini mold on a regular quill too. And I've done this many times if I'm trying to make, like I did this with my pink and yellow mandala. I actually used the mini mold to dome up my regular teardrop shapes, which gave it a really interesting effect. I'll go ahead and whip one up here for you so you can see it. So this is a full strip. I'm just going to let it open up a little bit so that you can see what we're doing here. These are a little more tricky, and they might require a different method of gluing. Go ahead and glue that off right there. Okay, so I have a regular closed coil. You actually can go over here and you can see that you can put these on the mini mold. Now, it would take a little bit of effort to get this glued properly. You'd actually have to go in and probably kind of paint it with glue from the top down and let it dry like that. Be kind of a pain in the butt. But you can do things like this crinkle poppy. This crinkle poppy is really, really a tight coil. You could put it down over one of these like that, and then you could glue it. I'm going to bring that up so you can see it. Oh, and it fell. Look at that. But you could actually do something like that too. It's not going to stay unless I hold it. Okay. So you don't have to glue just tight coils. You can do other shapes too, and it gives a really unique dimension. And you just want to try to size it. If you want the steepest dome, you try to size it to a very similar diameter. If you want a very mild or very low dome, you're going to go with one that's a larger diameter on the bottom. Okay, that's pretty much all there is to do with the mini mold. I don't think they go for very much. I'll go ahead and put the link on my website, and when I load this video up onto my website. Don't forget to visit me at www.quantumartistic.com or follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/quantumartistic. And stay tuned for more videos this summer. I'm going to try to produce a demo video for all the Quilled Creation tools, as well as remaking all of my previous videos that I made while I was under the name of Mainly Quilling. So expect to see those coming out over the summer as well. It was nice seeing you, and I will talk to you all soon.